welcome to Reaper's Underground. We hope you survive.
Oh, yes, my demons. It is a Thursday night. We're almost to the weekend. And what better way than to start it out with another edition of Reaper's Underground? And I couldn't be more excited than to have a up-and-coming fantastic artist and director, Myron Smith. Welcome to the show, my brother. We're going to be talking about pretty much all of your projects as a whole, I think, and how you got started and where you are today. And I noticed a little bit of trauma in there. So, of course, we're going to talk a little bit about trauma. And this is the time to share this shit out. Anywhere and everywhere there is a horror lover, a comedy lover. I don't care if you have to wake the dead, wake your grandma, your auntie, your dad, sister, cousin. I don't give a fuck. Let's make sure we are sharing this out, demons. I see all of you watching. And just remember, you can bring those questions and get them answered by Myron. And before we get into all this madness, we're going to take a quick commercial break to our brothers over at Villain Arts Tattoos. Check that shit out. That's right. Villain Arts Tattoo Conventions, the largest in the United States, in the world. And if they come to your city, your state, your town, you know what to do. I tell you every fucking week. Get your asses down there, get a high quality tattoo from some of the best in the country. Ink Master is there all the time, but don't forget about all the amazing vendors as well as performers. All right. Good evening, Aaron, Lizzie, good to see you. Texas Toxie loves trauma and you both. Awesome. All right. So let's take it back, man. How did you get started in the world of film?
Well, there were, I would say, I went public with it starting 2011 when we started doing script readings for Youngblood Evil Intentions. We had picked up a camera, my brother and I, we had played around with the camera before that, doing silly stunts and stuff like that. But I would say 2011.
Like a rite of passage as a kid.
Yeah, that kind of, exactly. Everybody wanted to do their own Jackass knockoff, right? And so we don't count that, though. We don't talk about that.
Yeah, right.
But, I think I would say the best time to talk about is when things kind of got serious. In 2011, in December, we held a script reading and audition. At the time, my brother and I co-wrote and co-directed Youngblood Evil Intentions. And I would say that's kind of where it really, started.
Mm-hmm. Was there like any influences or anything that kind of made you want to do, because it's a vampire film, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, as you said, I mean, we can't talk about filmmaking and talk about this film without discussing trauma. I believe I first discovered, trauma at, I can't remember if it was fourth grade or fifth grade, but I remember going into middle school, which in my locality starts at sixth grade. And I remember going in there hoping it would be like Class of Newcomb High or something. I'm like,
Right.
oh, this is, going to be exciting. So I remember I discovered it at a very young age. And sort of like I remember reading in Make Your Own Damn Movie, I think it was Trey Parker who had said that they may not have really come to the realization that they could make their own movies had they
Right.
not watched trauma films. And also, I was already at that point a big fan of Guar. I think I may have actually discovered Guar first or around that same time. And there were just these really creative people with these really creative ideas. And I liked how you could see how the effects were made. And, it sort of
Very
gives hope
practical.
to a young filmmaker. And I think a lot of people when they're young, they like almost everybody, even the people who don't do it, sort of at some point dream about making a film or some kind of big art piece. And I think, when I was that age, I never really knew how possible it would be because I didn't really think about video cameras or how easy it would be to edit in the future. But it's
Hmm.
so amazing how some of these things sort of have happened, you know. So
It's
it
it's
all
like I always
starts with a
say,
dream, right?
yeah, it literally does. And did you ever like foresee that you would be making films when you were a kid?
I don't think so. I definitely, when I was at that age, I was more into writing and drawing comics.
Oh,
And
that's awesome.
yeah, because, I was born in 1984, and,
Hmm.
a lot of my youth was in the 90s. And at the time, a lot of that seemed really promising. And, I used to publish zines and stuff like that. And it was
Nice. There's a lot of work that goes into that.
yeah, yeah. And so there's been definitely like a history of storytelling.
Hmm.
But yeah, as far as, when some of these editing software programs started coming out and,
Yep.
you started to
Get a bit more
realize that,
available to the public. Yeah.
yeah, at a certain point, it's like, okay, your imagination is your only limit. And, it's time to do it. Um, so I think with uh, Youngblood, we were just tossing different ideas around because we had always wanted to make a film. We weren't really sure what we wanted to make a film about yet. And
Hmm.
I think we sort of, in a way, not entirely, because in the movie the main characters are homicidal, but we sort of were basing the characters off of my niece and her best friend who lived with us at the time. And
Oh, okay.
yeah, and he had my brother had a few scenes written, and when I thought about, okay, well, let's imagine, what if the niece and Zoe, Autumn and Zoe, what if they were vampires and one was trying to manipulate the other? And the
Oh,
script just
sure.
started writing itself. So, and there was sort of a pressure of time because we were like, well, if we are going to film it, we kind of need to do it because if they're interested in doing it, we got to get
Right.
on it
Keep that
because,
going.
you know, so, yeah, and it was fun. But I think there are a lot of influences involved. We just kind of ran with it and, just kind of didn't really stop, just kind of kept making more films.
And does the comedy always kind of show up? I see most of your films have that horror comedy feel to it, possibly like Evil Dead, ideas.
I would say so. And I do think that, speaking of Young Blood, Evil Intentions, I think that was probably um, our attempt. I think we went into it kind of attempting to be serious, But
Mhm.
as it kept progressing, and as we added Lloyd Kaufman to the cast, and then Count Smokula,
Right.
it started. We just started embracing the silly because we had a pretty much a script as we were writing it, but we
Mhm.
also kept it flexible, and you know and also with Young Blood Evil Intentions, we made an effort to sort of make sure that all the effects were believable. And then by the
Right.
time we went with our next feature, which was Invasion of the Killer Cicadas, we just kind of threw that out the window because it was like, well, we can't, you know, do that every time because it's kind of fun sometimes to leave some of the mistakes in there.
Oh
Sometimes
man,
that's
you
part of the
can't
fun too.
you can't buy that comical flair when that happens. It's like, oh, well, that wasn't what we were looking for, but damn, that's funny.
Yeah, it's a certain bit of serendipity, right? Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
You're like, well, we're not going to get a better take than that. Yeah.
Nope.
That happens quite a bit.
Probably couldn't get that shot again if you tried, kind of thing.
Right.
I understand. No, that's really cool. Sometimes I've not, I noticed directors use moments like that to put as extras or something like that on the DVD, but leaving it in the film, and it's like those happy accidents, man. Hey, what's going on, Kyler? Good to see you, brother. So
I remember one happy accident. I had a person online who asked me to be part of their Wizard of Oz film, and I had this big giant mustache, and I was filming it in front of a green screen,
uh-huh.
so they could add in the background. And the mustache flew off and then actually stuck to the green screen. And I was like, oh, I
That's
that tape.
amazing.
I'm not. I can't remember. Yeah, I don't think they did, but I was like, oh, that was perfect right there. The mustache flies off and sticks to the green screen.
Oh yeah, you can't write that, man.
Right. Yeah.
So has there been like any horror comedies that really kind of struck you in the past?
Oh, horror comedies that struck me in the past. Oh, there's a lot. I mean, obviously, because there's so many different ways to go about it. But I mean, I love, Dead Alive. I mean, that's a fun film. Gosh, there's just so many,
There is.
It's I'm starting to be like, oh my gosh, I don't want to start leaving stuff out. But
no, there's a fine line. It's like,
yeah.
some of it, most of the best ones have always been like situational in the script, how some of the dialogue goes, and then you have things that are like direct parodies, and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think what I'm thinking about right now seems to be the most obvious one, right? Like I could go down the Trauma catalog, and then obviously there's a lot of Full Moon fun stuff,
Oh,
and I'm kind of like watching new stuff all the time, So,
absolutely.
Most recently, I watched Rabbits. Which actually, it's so fun. I didn't even do this on purpose, but I was like thinking about how it's spelled odd, and I was like, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I like to sometimes do trades with other filmmakers.
Hell
and
yeah.
And I just kind of lucked up. I did a trade for a DVD, but this one also came with a companion book. But I was going to say Rabbits.
Oh, nice.
But I watched that recently, and that was really fun. So, like, I'm always watching new things all the time. But, yeah, I do enjoy good horror comedy, whether it's tongue-in-cheek or blatant. Because, like, you've got, for example, I mentioned Trauma. Some of that stuff sort of has like a kind of like a Looney Tunes kind of vibe.
Kind of a feel,
right? Where
yeah.
it's very screwball comedy. Whereas, you can also have a lot of shoot, I think about like Death Becomes or there's so many movies, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh no, I mean there ain't no way I could possibly get you to
Idle Hands or
oh man, Idle Hands is still one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Always liked Devin Sawa, and he was just delightfully funny in that one. Very good filmmaking. But and it shows a lot. So and it's mentioning parodies. I believe your latest film just came out, which is 39 Ghosts.
Yes.
And it seems like, after watching the trailer, because obviously I haven't had a chance to view the film yet, but seems like there's a lot of parody going into this one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It looks like one of the most ultimate thrill rides, bust your guts kind of, film to watch on a Friday night.
Mhm. Yes, yes. Yeah, it's a spoof of haunted house films.
Nice.
Mostly.
I knew it. I
Yeah,
knew it. I
well, of
knew it.
course. Yeah, it mostly, the 13 Ghost franchise.
Yes.
Because there was one in 1960 and another remake that came out in 2001 that most people in my generation are more familiar with.
No.
And of course, just haunted house films in general. And then you've got splashes of Scooby Doo and Ghostbusters and a few other surprises in there. Yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
Now, I mean, what were some of your favorite moments making that one? Because it just looks like an awesome time. You guys making that one.
Wow. I mean, there were a lot of great moments. Now it's kind of interesting how it worked out because most of the filming took place from February
Ooh.
through May in 2019. So we did most of the filming in about 3 months or so.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was just kind of exciting to during that time period because we were filming something every weekend or every other weekend, and we're always working on new costumes, new props, new sets, new makeup. And there were days when we had a lot of the ghosts there and the people that were playing what we called the Ghostbusters, and everybody there. We had a kind of a scene where there's like a party for all the ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all just having a wild time. And it was a very productive. There were some very productive days because I mean we would shoot for 8 or 10 hours usually, and I remember, gosh, I mean there are literally 39 ghosts in the film, and actually
Yep.
I came to realize later. Not even on purpose. There's actually more than 39 ghosts.
Oh shit.
Yeah. There was one guy.
39 just sounds better, right?
Yeah, there was actually one guy who was going to be a ghost, but then, he was dating one of the other actresses, and then when I guess they split up, we couldn't get him to come back. We needed
Shit.
to film some more stuff. So he was in the party scene. That couldn't be edited out. But then we.
Right.
Later had to replace his character. And, but, he's still in the party scene. So it's like, well, wait a minute, that's an extra ghost. And then I realized there were a couple more extra ghosts that I wasn't really thinking about. So there's actually, you get actually 40 something ghosts. So with all I think we had, Stephanie Davis was head of makeup, and she, did a lot of the makeup design, and she figured out a lot of things that, going in, I wasn't exactly sure how we're even going to pull it off, but she figured out all kinds of stuff,
That's why I always say whoever's doing your special effects, makeup, all that stuff, people just don't realize just how important that is and how it can help or break a production. But in this case, definitely she did a fantastic job.
Yeah, and I mean, I always try to, for sure, have a plan B. But like one character I remember, for example, was one based off of the Hammer, which I think we call him the Sledgehammer. But he's got these railroad spikes, sticking out of his chest, and nails and things. And
Nice.
I'm sitting here like not really sure exactly how we're going to do this. I figured we'd figure something out.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got these foam railroad spikes and these little nails made out of toothpicks and golf tees and all these different options. And
Sure.
I was like, wow, I didn't, it really does make a big difference for sure.
Yeah. I mean, working as a team, with the same goal in mind, and everybody's on the same page. And that's, what brings these productions together. And of course, the actors as well. So, but super, super important. Great question from Aaron here. Has becoming a filmmaker yourself changed how you view movies as a whole?
View movies well, I would say it definitely does. The first thing that comes to mind is I realize that I definitely do not judge a film as harshly if it has some shortcomings, because I realize just making a movie period is an accomplishment. Just
Yeah,
right, really.
Absolutely. Oh
Yeah,
man, it's
so,
difficult. I
it,
know, especially with the passion project I'm working on, the contract. I know that's not going to be easy. It looks great on paper. It's a whole different story when you go to film it.
yeah, and especially when you do take it seriously, because you're putting yourself out there, and
Oh
that
yeah.
goes with any kind of art, like as a band, right? Like if you,
Yep.
I remember you mentioned formerly being a drummer, or maybe you still drum
Yep.
sometimes, but yeah, like when you're in a band, you realize, oh, okay, there are all kinds of things that go behind the scenes that people don't typically even see.
Yes.
So that a lot. You have a more of an appreciation for it, for sure.
Definitely. And I really love that you said that, not to judge films so harshly. Because I mean, if it's one thing, just from multiple actor friends of mine, are always talking about this movie, whether it sucked or whatever. And it's like, sometimes it's like, man, you're just picking it apart. Don't you just want to take in the experience, of this story? It's like, yeah, who cares if they didn't get the wide shot there, or you know what I'm saying, the point of view or whatever.
I think a big part of it is kind of knowing what you're getting yourself into, right? So,
Yeah.
it helps to kind of, have an appreciation for that kind of thing. I think the biggest crime you can perform is being boring, right? Like, to
Oh,
me, right? As long as
absolutely.
I'm entertained by it. And I think Mystery Science Theater 3000, right, teaches us how to cope with sometimes a boring film, maybe.
Oh yeah,
But
absolutely. I mean, I just did a film with director Daryl Hook called Stoner Snake, and it's billed as the worst film you'll ever see, but that was on purpose. It's kind of a paying homage to some of the like the dumbest effects and things like that, but people really love it. It's a great laugh. It's not a film that you got to take seriously. That's kind of why I feel like horror comedies, and that's why they're so popular, especially in independent film.
And that's a good point. That's letting people know what they're getting into, right? If you tell them it's the worst movie ever made, but it's not true, because with a title like that just
Exactly. I mean, it's a space snake that likes to get high, and then he kills people. Oh man, tell me a little bit about Invasion of the Killer Cicadas.
Oh yeah. So when Youngblood Evil Intentions was completed, it was not very long after. I believe it was the summer of 2013.
Mm-hmm.
There was a huge swarm of cicadas in the backyard,
Oh,
and yeah, and they were willing to act for free, and so we just started filming with them. And the thing is you only get, I think it's maybe 6 weeks tops, and after about 5 weeks, they start kind of dying off. So it was like we had this, idea and then just started kind of creating footage. It was pretty wild. And it was kind of a liberating experience because I think with Youngblood, we were trying to, make even though it ended up not being serious all the way through the end, it was
The
dark.
intent was there from the beginning, so at least you have that.
Yeah, and it was pretty dark. But then with Invasion of Killer Cicadas, it was definitely like we wanted to be silly with it because we had raised the bar kind of high.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, well, we want to be able to make silly films too, right? And just put something out there. Because that was a thing too with our first feature. It was a lot of work. It was 9 months. I remember too, because we were filming with with younger actors. We had 35 hours worth of footage to edit. I mean, it was because they were kind of trying to be silly because they wanted to be on the blooper reel or whatever the case was, right? And so we were just kind of ready to just make a film that wasn't as much, just dive right into it, basically, is what I would want to say. And that's basically what happened. So we basically shot some footage with the cicadas and then started writing a script kind of around that.
Around it? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
In the process, pretty much. But
did you kind of feel like it was a bit would you say like doing the comedy stuff, do you think that comes a little easier than trying to do like a real serious film?
I think so. And another thing, because shortly after Invasion Killer Cicadas, I started doing the Virginia Sweeted Film Festival. So I started making some Sweeted films. And for the first time, I actually made a couple films that were comedy without the horror or fantasy comedy and things like that. Because
hell yeah,
because I like all sorts of genres of films and everything. But I do enjoy comedy because I think too low budget kind of lends itself to that. And with the suite of films, part of the humor was how are we going to pull this off on a high concept on a micro budget, and sometimes it actually kind of makes sense, like in 39 Ghosts, they inherit a house, for example, like that always happens, right? You do the crazy rich uncle that leaves you a house that's haunted, of course.
Of course.
But, instead of this really nice house like you get in most of these films, they just get there and, well, this place is a dump, and I mean, it's just kind of how it is, right? So, and what's kind of crazy too is one thing that kind of worked out is when we were filming 39 Ghosts, it just so happened that the person who was letting us shoot there had just purchased this house and they were getting ready to fix it up. They shot in it before they fixed it up.
Nice.
And when you look at the film, you would think that we actually had created some of that damage, like the wallpaper's peeling off and the paint's chipped and everything. And but we actually made zero changes to anything on the walls like that.
Oh,
of course,
amazing.
we did have. Yeah,
it's very believable.
Yeah, we had to do certain things, like we had to darken the windows because everything's supposed to take place at night.
Yeah,
so, you don't want any sunlight showing things like that. But yeah, we made no actual changes to the walls, even though I guess we could have if we wanted to, because I'm surely they were going to put up new wallpaper and all that.
Right.
But yeah, it sometimes it just kind of works out, and I think it sort of you can write your script around that. But yeah, when we were doing the Virginia Sweeted Film Festival, it was actually kind of interesting because I pretty much left everything to chance. At that point, I started directing solo, but I had planned on having different people, direct their own suite of features too.
Oh,
But
sure.
we had a group
Almost like
meeting.
an anthology, or
Huh?
almost like an anthology. Or...
Right, yeah. Just have a little local film festival, and anybody that really wanted to submit. And so everybody that came to the first meeting, I told them to take 2 movies that they would like to see filmed, and we'll put them all in a hat, and we'll draw out 2 films and see what they are. And we drew out Almost Famous and Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Nice.
And yeah, 2 weeks from that date of drawing that name out, we shot Almost Famous Sweeted in a day. It ended up being like a 17-minute short film. And then 2 weeks from that, we shot Willy Wonka Sweeted. And we had 2 more films we did that same season. It was all of our shooting was 2 weeks apart. But I had everybody vote on from all the ones that were not picked out of the hat. Because I knew I didn't really want to have any influence on what went in the hat. But I kind of
that makes sense.
I caught wind that there were a couple that I knew would be
that would be news. Perfect.
Like people were trying to mess me up, man. I had one guy, he put in and actually looking back, maybe it would have been interesting, but one person put in American Tail, and I'm like, what? Like we're all supposed to be nice. And then I remember somebody put in Dirty Dancing. I'm like, I don't know, I said you could put anything, so I guess I'm not.
You could totally make something badass though with Dirty Dancing,
right? Maybe I was just like hoping though. I was like, oh, I hope I don't pick Dirty Dancing.
Like Patrick Swayze's character is a serial killer. He kills all these girls he dances with, and
well, it's funny that you mentioned that actually, because that's sort of how 39 Ghosts sort of came about, because originally I was going to do 13 Ghosts Sweeted, but then I was like, well, wait, this is, there's so much potential here. I would rather actually just do a parody, and that's sort of how that kind of evolved, because with the Sweeted films, I sort of tried to stick to the actual story, although of course some things.
Yeah, the source material. Yeah.
But for the most part, you're kind of trying to stick to the same plot.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was kind of funny though when we had everybody vote on the remaining 2. That's how we ended up with Nightmare on Elm Street Sweeted, and then Wizard of Oz Sweeted. And I'm happy that we went with that, because it almost ended up being Dogma, and that would have gotten me canceled by half of my town. I live in Martinsville, Virginia, so I don't know how well that would have went over with that.
Oh, I love it. Lizzie says Reaper and Mortimer 100% on the same wavelength again. Y'all are eerie. Apparently he had the same thought about Dirty Dancing that I did, so
yeah. So we're talking about a parody where he ends up being a psycho stalker.
Yeah.
Is that all right? Yeah.
Yeah. He dances. He kills. I could see it. I could totally see it. And you would pick somebody that doesn't look anything like Patrick Swayze. That would make it even more funny, like a Chris Farley type. You know what I'm saying? Right. Oh man, I would die laughing on that, because people like to get together and watch B-rated films and make a party out of it, and I'm telling you, people would just die. I would actually volunteer, since I'm a bigger gentleman myself, to play that character. I think that'd be fucking fun, man. Just like
Yeah, that'd be great.
Hilarious. Oh,
basically, you know what? I would be happy for somebody to make this film. So basically, all you really need is somebody, doing the lift.
That's right.
You know what I mean? With a corpse, and you put that in the trailer. And
That's fire
Oh,
right there,
easy
man.
sell right
Tell
there.
me.
All you need is a catchy title, and you're good to go, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, whoever's listening, we need to have this happen. And
Slaughter dancing.
yeah, and then ask this guy,
Right.
or if he's not available, I might fill in. Hey, I might be your body double.
I mean, we'll have to talk. I mean, I was Ginger Lynn's body double in Grind. Whoever would have thought that was going to happen?
All right.
Of course, I was in a 9-foot demon suit, so that's a whole different story. But excellent idea. And I think it's time for everybody out there in the Black Flame universe to see what we're talking about, because 39 Ghosts is definitely guaranteed to deliver and bust them guts. Check it out.
Are you prepared for what dwells within our haunted domain?
Hello.
39 Ghosts. This twisted tale will send shivers down your spine and tickle your funny bone. Will the mysterious five come to the rescue? Will the Ghostbusters discover the family treasure? See the ghosts with your very own eyes in glorious full color. The Crazy Cat Lady. Then Ghost.
Here's a clue.
Alice Pooper.
What's a guy gotta do to get some privacy around here?
39 Ghosts.
Alice Pooper, man. I think he's got to be one of my favorites. Man, let's let everybody know how they can get their hands on this.
Well, so I have it on Shopify and eBay. So that's currently the way to get it, other than finding me on Facebook or other social media.
Yeah, let's go ahead and drop all your socials so that everybody out there that has shown up for you and watching tonight can start following you and get their hands on one of these, because I know I'm definitely doing it. I am doing it. I'm going to order my fucking copy tonight.
So I'm on YouTube. Search Myron Smith Filmmaker. Also Instagram. I don't use it as often, but mostly Facebook. And you can catch me on there. And I'd love for somebody to try to snag a copy on Shopify. Something interesting. I don't know if anybody out here has heard of this, but it's kind of strange. I had 2 orders that happened kind of at the exact same time.
Oh.
And it said that the orders were suspected for fraud. And I'm sort of new to Shopify, right?
Sure.
But I'm sitting here thinking, and part of why it said is because the IP address is 800 miles from the shipping address. And I also noticed both orders are made at the exact same time, at the exact same second. And it does seem kind of fishy. And it even says, you should consider canceling this, right? But what was strange is I got to thinking, that would be a really odd scam to all that to what? Have a warehouse of independent movies? Who's doing that? But anyway, but yeah, this is the time where I'm supposed to be plugging on my socials. So
that's a great story, because it's did they not think that maybe the internet on their end or their cell phone service or whatever kind of glitched and put it in twice? And you know what I'm saying? Or was it different people?
It is odd, because what if they're just buying as a gift for someone else? But I noticed it gives the phone number, so maybe I'll call the number and say, "Hey, did you order this or what?" I don't know. But also, this is something sort of in relation to snagging a copy too. Right now, I've got it at auction. If anybody wants to just send an offer for what is being asked, I sell them for 20. But I just put it at the bid thing because for whatever reason it gets more views that way. I don't know why, but I mean, I'm gonna for But anyway, if anybody wants to send me an offer, I'll just, you can get it instead of waiting a week. But I had something happen not too long ago. Sad to say, somebody was ordering a copy of Return to Oz Suited, and I probably only have about 10 copies. I made some for Kickstarter.
Sure.
But they messaged me and they said they wanted to cancel their order. I think they thought that it was a bootleg copy because they saw that it was a DVD -R with Sharpie written on it. And then they went and reported 11 or 14 of my items, and they claimed that they were the copyright holder of my films. And it took down Invasion of Killer Cicadas. It took down Youngblood Evil Intentions. It even took down 39 Ghosts. And unfortunately, don't spread this to all the Karens. I hope they're not, I don't think this is the demographic that's listening to your show. But sadly, we're in a state now where eBay basically takes all the listings down, and you're not able to prove otherwise that I do in fact hold the copyright to this film, because although that might not be true for Return to Oz Suited, I gave up on that, and now those are no longer available on eBay. Yeah, for now anyway.
Well,
keep an eye out, But
you could have pissed off the McDonald's, drive-through girl, and just happened to know that you made films, and you know what I mean? Wants to fuck with you, and then the next thing you know, your films get taken off. So,
well, hopefully eBay will start a thing where you can prove that you own the film, because like for 39 Ghosts, for example, I could literally just send them a link to IMDb that says,
exactly.
There I am as the director and writer of this film.
It's really fucking odd too. It's like, what proof did they show that they had a copyright? They didn't show them anything, so that definitely sounds pretty suspect.
That's what's kind of worrisome about it, and that's why I almost am even hesitant to even like put it out there that you can do that, because I'm sitting here thinking somebody, like if I was to say all that, I don't know. Anyway, it's like there's a negative reaction to everything. So if you tell people, hey, you can do this, people are like, hey, you can do that.
Well, yeah, some people get a kick out of being a troll and just,
sure.
For whatever reason, they want to be able to make it seem like they have some power.
But anyway, so you can get it on eBay and Shopify for now.
Nice. Yeah. Might want to start thinking about, what is that app called? Shoot, a lot of bands use it too. Patreon. That wouldn't be a bad one to try to do too. People could get copies through Patreon. So
true. And we did do pre-orders through Kickstarter.
Nice.
A lot of our projects, are made possible through crowdfunding, So
I'm glad to hear that you went with Kickstarter, because Indiegogo has lost its ever-loving mind.
Right.
People are going to stop using that because, I don't know, they changed a bunch of rules, regulations, and how you can do anything on there. Because there's a film that I'm going to be filming in the fall, that the directors said that they tried multiple times to try to get it listed on there, and he said it was just a nightmare.
Right.
How was Kickstarter for you?
It worked out. Now, usually when I do them, it's more to kind of just like offset costs. It's not really to fund the entire budget. Right. But I was happy with it, because a lot of times people, for any aspiring filmmakers out there, I find that a lot of times there's certain people that are more interested in supporting something before it comes out than when it actually comes out, which there's a lot of people that, of course, that will want it after it comes out if you can promote it and things like that. But there's a lot of people who, I don't know. It's like they're just they like to help, before the thing actually comes out. So
Yeah,
it's another avenue, and it's a way to kind of reach people that are interested in supporting the arts. And so I think for that, I'm grateful that it exists.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah, and we've been using Kickstarter since Youngblood, and I've not uh, tried other crowdfunding. I never did Indiegogo, but I always just kind of felt more confident using Kickstarter because I figured the people that, a lot of the people that would donate are actually either local people or people who used to live in the area who
That's
see that it's a
amazing.
positive thing for the area.
Big time.
And sometimes there'll be, random people that I don't know that discover it through Kickstarter. That might be maybe 25% or whatever, just
Hey, that's still
discovering
25%, you know?
But yeah, but whatever the case is though, since a lot of them are locals and people that I've known at some point or another, I feel like they would feel more confident donating on Kickstarter because it's an all or nothing. And now
Yeah.
Kickstarter also has it where you can make it what they call flexible funding. So it doesn't have to be all or nothing. But I went ahead and made my last campaign all or nothing. That way, people are donating to a project that may or may not, be completed. Because if
Right.
somebody needs $10,000 to make a movie and they only get 500 and they keep the 500 but can't make the movie, I don't know. So that way, anyway, the people who donate can, I guess, feel more confident that they'll get something or that the project.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, there's definitely been projects out there that were like bigger budgeted like that, and the shit never came out.
Nothing against it, though. I've seen it work for a lot of people. Or
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's it's a double-sided coin. It's just I don't know. I think there's been more people who have kind of ruined it for all the good people. And that's probably why they're a little bit more rigid and all this other stuff. But Kickstarter, though, definitely a solid platform for funding. And I'm glad that you've had success with that. Do you have any upcoming projects in the works or anything like that you might want to promote?
Well, I do have a script that I'm working on. Yes, I'm not. I'm wondering if I should save the title for possibly maybe if you'd like to have me back sometime. But I do have something new in the works. I'm looking at another horror comedy parody situation.
Now you're talking.
yes, and I'm really excited for it.
I'm always available.
Yeah. What was that last bit? What'd you say?
I said I'm always available if you need
great.
a giant involved.
Great, yeah. So, but yeah, I'm super excited about it, and
Hell yeah.
This will be because it's been a while since I've been at this stage of production where things are that's the most exciting part is
is when it gets moving.
Yeah, when things get moving, and and it's it's getting to that point. I think I'm hoping to start having meetings and
Nice.
within the next couple months. Hopefully, start shooting in the summer. But I'll definitely be announcing something soon, and I am excited for it. So
hell yeah. Well. Yeah. Everybody out there in Black Flame Land, you know exactly to follow Myron and be up to date on everything that he's doing. You can also check him out on IMDb as well to see the past projects. And you know where you can go to buy some as well. And for everyone that has shown up for you tonight, sir, and everybody else watching, even though you're not commenting, that's okay. Sometimes they just like to listen. I'll roast you later. But what is your lasting message for them?
What is my lasting message for who? For the people who are watching?
For everybody watching.
Oh dear. So this is the hard question. This is the question I've been prepared for. Before this started, I was like, "Is there anything I should?"
I mean, you could always take the
lasting
easy way
thing.
out and go, "Don't stop believing."
I mean, I would do that, but that would be taking the easy way out. Be
Exactly.
Like, oh yeah, don't stop believing. Unless we can edit out the part where you say, "Just tell them don't stop believing." But it's live, so
That's right.
will know. It's too late now. No,
That's right.
I'm kidding. If you give me a second, I might have something for you. I don't know.
For anybody out there that's thinking about making a film, possible, directing career, what would be your advice?
Well, it's funny. I was thinking about this earlier, and so I'll just go with this. A lot of people make art for different reasons, right? And sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's angry, sometimes it's whatever it is, right? I usually kind of try to have fun with my art. But what's interesting is as you grow, a lot of times there's sort of an evolution. And one thing that I think is interesting is, I've used art as sort of like a coping tool throughout.
Sure.
It's
Absolutely
escape.
Very therapeutic.
Yeah, whether you're creating it or just consuming it, it can be very therapeutic. And what you kind of start to realize is when you're doing community-based art, like filmmaking, especially with the more people you get involved. And when you see 39 Ghosts, you'll see it is definitely a community film. I mean, there's over 100 people involved in some way in this production. And so you start to kind of realize that you're having this effect on people, and that people are discovering their passions, and it's becoming something for them too, and it can be a really beautiful thing, and it kind of makes you want to keep going, even though, because to be real, low budget filmmaking isn't like it's no quick way to fame and fortune or anything like that, right? Because it takes a lot of work to get people to see your film, right? But just whatever your reason is for making art, I think that it's all valid, and I think it's very interesting, all the things that it can do for us, right? Because it can be everything from a coping tool to something to just to have fun, as a distraction. And I think as long as you're putting good into the world, like just keep doing what you're doing. Just remember, it don't go broke while you're doing it, right? I think with Kickstarter, I just kind of use it to recoup, a little bit of what, but I try to also keep budgets low,
Right.
But as long as we're all watching the film and we understand we're watching a low budget film and everything, people will appreciate the effort that you put into something.
Absolutely.
Right? So even 100%. If we see the thing and we know it's not real, as long as we can see the effort was put into it, a lot of us can still appreciate that. So anyway, I know I'm kind of rambling, but that's why a question like that will sort of make me say, "Oh Lord, well, what do I say?" Because I'm very passionate about making films, and
that's what it's all about.
Yeah, and it's a
all your passions.
Yeah, and sometimes it's kind of defiant because people will tell you can't do it.
Always.
And when you do it anyway, it's like, how you like that? I did it
exactly.
Anyway. I don't know. Nobody can really stop you if you're the producer and director and editor, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So anyway,
You are the
after
creator.
after that though, just don't stop believing.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm so glad that we were able to get you here to the underground. It has been an absolute pleasure. And to all of my demons and addicts in the comment section, you guys are amazing. Thank you guys for showing up for Myron. And don't forget, demons, in just 15 minutes, Tracks of the Damned will be coming on. And we have a brand new doom metal band from the Tennessee area known as Burnt Witch. That's right. We haven't done an interview on that show in a minute. So if you are ready for your doom metal injection, definitely stay tuned. And again, thank you, Myron. Definitely a pleasure. And make sure you can share this interview anywhere you want to, because it's on YouTube, it's on Facebook, all the way around. And definitely stay in contact with me. Anything that you're promoting, feel free to tag me in it. Black Flame Entertainment and Reapers Underground Facebook pages will definitely get the word out for you as well. And we look forward to having you back on. Most definitely.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate
hear
it.
about this new project too.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think you're gonna like it.
Absolutely. Just remember, don't stop believing. And always stay heavy.
Thank you for joining us on Reapers Underground. Stay tuned for more.